All right, 3, 2, 1, let's get it. Welcome back to another episode. What are we on? 890. Welcome back to What's Your Problem, the podcast that tackles the three universal problems. We all have it: adversity, uncertainty, and complacency. No matter who you are or what you're working toward, you're going to face these challenges in some way. Today, I want to talk about something that affects every area of your life, the 5 F's: faith, family, fitness, finances, and fulfillment. Because here's the truth. Many things are in the works long before they happen all at once. This applies to success, but it also applies to failure too. Damn. If you've ever wondered why things suddenly seem to take off, or why life suddenly falls apart out of nowhere, you need to hear this. Because you don't wake up one day suddenly fit, successful, or thriving. But you also don't wake up one day broke, fat, out of shape, and lost. It's a slow build. Many things are in the works, and then it happens all at once. See, every choice that you make, every rep in the gym, every financial decision, every conversation in your relationships, they count. Not only do they count, but they compound over time. One disciplined habit, one extra effort beyond what's required, one decision that aligns with who you want to become. That's what leads to the tipping point and where things suddenly fall into place. It's how you become an overnight success. But if it's true for success, it's also true for failure too. If you lose your awareness, if you think that you got the cheat code, if you get lazy with the details, that tipping point will soon come, but it won't be in your favor. See, you don't become bankrupt overnight. I know this. You don't ruin a relationship in one conversation. I know this. You don't lose your health in a single meal. I know this. It's happened to me. All of those. D, all of the above. It's one bad habit. Nothing happened to me in one day. It's one bad habit, one missed opportunity, one excuse, one rationalization at a time, until suddenly you're in the hole and you never saw it coming. It was there the whole time. It was in plain sight, yet you didn't have the awareness to see what was going on. You thought you could get by with it. So let's talk about where this shows up in life. In fitness, you don't get strong from just one workout, not even 1 week. You get strong from consistently showing up even when you don't feel like it. For your finances, you don't build wealth from one big paycheck. And that's sometimes what we're looking for. Man, if I could only hit $1 million, right? Yeah, but you haven't built in the foundation to not only achieve $1 million, but what are you going to do with it? You're going to piss it all away. Look at any ESPN 30 for 30 documentary and don't tell me you can't be broke, because these athletes were paid mega millions, some of them $100 million over a lifetime, and they're broke today. It ain't the money. It's the management. It's how you invest, how you save, and how you spend over time. With your family, great relationships aren't built overnight. They come from consistent effort, intentionality, presence, and also confrontation. Things have to be talked about. They're not just going to fix themselves. Faith, spiritual growth isn't one breakthrough moment. It's the daily commitment to prayer, belief, and trust, and then fulfillment. You don't suddenly find your purpose. Really, you stumble across it. And you'll stumble across it when your actions align with what truly matters to you. If you want a different life, then your actions have to align with a different life. You have to understand something, man. Everything that you do is accumulating towards something. That's why I say everything counts. Everything matters. You think that you get away with it, but that's why there's grace. That's why there's mercy. But also on the flip side, It requires faith to take the steps, to do the actions, that you're productively aligned, even though you don't see it happening right now. You have a mental image of what it is. You know that you know that you know in your head and your heart that if I stay on this course and keep iterating and evolving, I'll achieve success. Timeline we're on is eventually and ultimately things are going to tip in your favor, and ultimately you're going to succeed. The good news or the bad news, it doesn't happen overnight. Success doesn't happen overnight, okay? But on the flip side of that too, nor does destruction, and that's a good thing. You bite into a Whopper and you have a heart attack and you die. So if you don't want the bad things to happen in your life overnight, then you've got to understand that the good things aren't going to happen to you overnight either. It's an accumulation. But in order for this to work, you got to work it. And you got to cut out the bullshit narration that you're telling. I'm going to get serious next month. One bad meal's not going to hurt. I'll save money later. If I get this refund, then I'll be in the land of milk and honey. If I land this person, then life will be great. If I get this house, if I get this promotion, dude, the list goes on and on. And then suddenly, all quotes, you wake up and you're far off track. It's not going to fix itself. It's these tiny deviations every single day that you just get a little bit off course. But compared to yesterday, you're not that far off course. So you get a little bit off again and off again and off again. But from a starting point, if you look back 90 days or you look back a year or a decade from where you are today, you see, oh my God, I'm way off course. It's because the baseline moves every single day. See, the comparison that you're making is from the day before, so it doesn't seem like much. But compared to where you were 90 days from today, way off course. The worst thing you can do is think that you're getting away with anything. The best thing you can do is wake up now and take action. Success and failure work exactly the same way. One rep, one meal, one financial decision, one conversation, one action at a time. So the question is, what are you building? And that goes for both the good and the bad. What are you building? Everything counts. Stop kicking the can down the road. Stop big-lipping it. Stop blaming someone else. It may not be your fault, but it is your responsibility from here. Drop the excuses. Get back in alignment with what you know you need to do. Not should, not procrastinating until next week. No, do it now. This is why I end every episode. Keep it simple. Keep it moving. Never settle. Dude, I'm telling you, but I'm telling me too. I want you to think about this in your own life. Where are you building momentum in the right direction? Where do you need to course correct? Just ask yourself those two questions. Am I building momentum in the right way? Because there is such a thing as negative momentum. So is the momentum building toward the person that I want to become? Even if you don't see the results, just because it doesn't work doesn't mean it's not working. You're head faked right now. You're looking at, oh, it don't work. But it is working. Sometimes you got to build the momentum. Sometimes you got to build the skill set. Sometimes you got to build the collaboration. Sometimes you got to set the foundation. That is important to know. And if you notice these things, where do you need the course correct? That's important too. All right? I want to hear from you. DM me. I'm on all the socials at Marsh Bice. Or if you're listening on the podcast app, send me a text. Or if you're watching it, leave it in the comments below. Love to hear from you. All right, let's get out of here. Keep it simple. Keep it moving. Never settle. Stay tough. Peace.